Sweat skins have been around since the start of Fortnite Battle Royale, so today I will be ranking the sweatiest skin from every Fortnite season. When you see these skins on the island, you most likely try to avoid them because you'll be sent back to the lobby when you fight them 9 out of 10 times. Or you use them because you are sweaty. But before I get started, be sure to let me know in the comments what you think are some of the sweatiest skins in Fortnite. If you enjoy my videos, use code TuneSpider in the Fortnite item shop, and now let's get started. Alright, so we're going to be hopping into Kato Thorne's time machine, and we're going all the way back to Chapter 1, Season 1 to start this video. It really came down to two skins in my opinion for the sweatiest skin from this first season, and that was Ghoul Trooper or Renegade Raider. And in my opinion, I gotta give the edge to Renegade Raider. This skin's legacy has just lasted a little longer than Ghoul Troopers, and before this skin came back into the item shop in December, if you ran into an OG Renegade Raider, it was pretty much confirmed that they were gonna be sweaty because they've played since the very beginning. Next up is Chapter 1 Season 2, and there's really only one option in my opinion, and that's gonna be the Mogul Master Ski skins. Really, you could pick any style for these skins and they're definitely gonna be sweaty. These definitely ran the competitive scene for a long time and still get used to this day by sweats. Moving on to Chapter 1 Season 3, this came between two Battle Pass skins, the Reaper and Elite Agent. Now, when you did run into the Reaper during a game, you would be a little intimidated because it looked a lot like John Wick, but the Elite Agent was not only a sweat in regular pub games, this skin was also used a lot by early competitive players in those skirmish days. And when I hop into the OG mode, I will still see Elite Agent duos or squads, and every time they're very sweaty. Next up is Chapter 1 Season 4, and it's hands down the soccer skins. I wrote down Poise Playmaker, but it really could be any of them. When you think of Chapter 1 sweat skins, these are the first ones that come to mind. If you came across a soccer sweat, you were 100% getting sent back to the lobby. Up next is Chapter 1 Season 5, and this one is an interesting sweat skin because it's got a crazy design which most sweat players don't want. They want to have simple designs that kind of blend in, but this is the Dynamo skin. This was actually made a popular sweat skin by Mongrel way back in the day, and you know if you run into this skin, the player is going to have crazy piece control. Next up is Chapter 1 Season 6, and this is probably the ultimate controller player sweat skin, and that's Dark Bomber thanks to FaZe Sway. He single-handedly made this a sweat skin once he blew up. You would see Dark Bomber everywhere and you would just automatically assume as a controller player. It is a great design though. I'd probably say it's one of my favorite sweat skins for sure. Moving on to Chapter 1 Season 7, we have Sparkplug. Another competitive player that made this a popular sweat skin, this was Clicks. He used this simple mechanic skin during World Cup qualifiers that made it very popular. Next up is Chapter 1 Season 8, and this one goes to Ara. With being only 800 V-Bucks, a lot of people have her and a lot of sweats love to use her, especially since she has multiple styles, she has a simple design, and she's a very clean skin. I really like this one a lot. Moving on to Chapter 1 Season 9, I actually use this skin quite a bit. I really love the design to her, and that's Focus. A lot of sweats and competitive players have used this skin throughout the years, and she continues to be popular and one of the most used skins. Moving on to our last season for Chapter 1, we have Season X, and this one actually goes to Catwoman. There are a couple skins from this season that definitely could get this title, like Crystal or Psycho Bandit, but Catwoman is the one that I see used the most. With her all black outfit, it's perfect for sweat players. Now we're moving on to Chapter 2 Season 1, and this one's gotta go to Zadie. For this season, there wasn't that much competition for what is the sweatiest skin. This one has been used by a lot of competitive players in tournaments, most notably Reverse 2K back in Chapter 2. Moving on to Chapter 2 Season 2, we have the Echo skin. It was a toss-up between her and Travis Scott, but because Echo has come back so many times in the item shop and has a very sleek design and has two styles that you can rock with your duo, I think it's the sweatiest skin. Moving on to Chapter 2 Season 3, we have Surf Witch. Now this was a summer season, so there was a lot of beach type skins, and she was definitely the most used by competitive players. I actually don't know how this skin became so sweaty because it definitely feels more like a casual skin, but sweaty players love to use this skin back in Chapter 2. Moving on to Chapter 2 Season 4, this is probably the most obvious one. It is easily the most used sweat skin of all time and probably the most annoying when they use certain color combos, and that is the superhero skins from Chapter 2 Season 4. I used to really love these when they first came out because people could come up with so many cool combos. Then the all black or all white combos came out, then those got banned. Then it moved to the all gray condom skins. They're very unoriginal and I really don't like the look of them, but they're definitely the sweatiest skins. But I love running into players that use these in like pubs or something because you know they're posers and they're not actually that good. So it's a good feeling when you get to eliminate them. Next up is Chapter 2 Season 5, and I really didn't expect this to be the sweatiest skin. I didn't realize how many competitive players use this skin until I started doing research, and that's ISO. I really wouldn't expect this design to be so sweaty. Next up is Chapter 2 Season 6, and this one's a given, it's Lara Croft. She was used by pretty much everybody in ranked. Honestly, she's used by everyone in the game in general. She's one of the most popular skins in all of Fortnite, but Sweats definitely love to use this skin in competitive play. Next up is Chapter 2 Season 7, and there wasn't that many competitive skins that came out that season, or at least none that really blew up, so I picked Modena Icon. With a simple design, I feel like I saw this one quite a bit in ranked. Now we're moving on to our last season for Chapter 2, Season 8, and this one is our one and only tie on this list because both of them have just been so sweaty and used by so many competitive players, and that's Core and Chani. Now we're moving on to a new chapter with Chapter 3 Season 1. This is a season that didn't have any obvious sweat skins, so I went with what was the most used, and that was Haven from Season 1. Next up is Chapter 3 Season 2, and there wasn't a ton of obvious sweat skins for this one like we've had in Chapter 2 and Chapter 1, but I'd say Lyric was the sweatiest skin from this season. Next is Chapter 3 Season 3, and this one was obvious because of the all-white simple design, and that was Loveless. Wildcard was pretty sweaty back in Chapter 1, so that was no surprise with Loveless. Next up is Chapter 3 Season 4, and I was a little surprised with this skin as well, but Polo Prodigy is used by a lot of sweaty players in ranked. I'm not gonna lie, that one caught me off guard a little bit, but it does have a pretty clean design that isn't super loud. Moving on to Chapter 4 Season 1, the title for sweatiest skin belongs to Hannah. I would say this one's used by a mix of both as well, sweaty and casual, because of the creativity that you can have with this skin, but I do see her used in ranked gameplay quite a bit. Next is Chapter 4 Season 2, and this one was pretty obvious. It's Padme. The clean, simple, all-white design is perfect for competitive players. Moving on to Chapter 4 Season 3, it was Mariposa as the sweatiest skin from the season. This one doesn't come as a surprise either because she's so similar to Dynamo. Next up, Chapter 4 Season 4 goes to Caper. I don't think this one comes as a surprise since you can customize it similar to the superhero skins, but I will say they look way cooler. I like the designs that people come up with, but you can do all black, all white, or all gray, which sweaty players love to do. Next up is the OG season, and this one came between two skins that were collabs, Slim Shady and Invincible. I probably would have given it to Slim Shady, but lately with the black and blue suit for Invincible, I have seen so much in Reload and in Ranked. This has become a very sweaty skin, especially in Zero Build thanks to people like Bush Season. Now we're moving on to Chapter 5, and starting with Season 1, this was a season that didn't have a lot of sweat skins, or really that became super popular, but the most used was Summit Seeker Eevee, which makes sense because Eevee was very popular back in Chapter 3, so a reskin of her made sense for being sweaty. Now we're moving on to Chapter 5 Season 2, and this is going to go to Champion Siren. I feel like with Chapter 5, the sweaty skins weren't as impactful as they were from previous chapters, especially Chapter 2 and Chapter 1. Moving on to Chapter 5 Season 3, I see these quite a bit in duo and squads, and that's going to be the Adidas skins. Another customized type skin where sweats can make it very bland. Moving on to Chapter 5 Season 4, I love this skin. I definitely use it quite a bit as well, and that's the She Venom skin. This one is pretty obvious why it is a sweat skin. And then last but not least for Chapter 5, we got the remix season, and there wasn't really any sweat skins that were released during this season, but there was a skin that was used by pretty much everybody when it became available, and that was the free Slayer Juice World skin. I mainly put this one here because 90% of the lobby was using this skin once it became available. Now we're moving on to our current chapter, starting with Chapter 6 Season 1. I gave it the title for sweatiest skin from the past season to Yule Jacket. Another free skin that was very clean, very simple, great for sweaty players to use. And then last but not least, our current season, Chapter 6 Season 2. I feel like this one's pretty obvious, even though the skin just recently came out within the past few weeks, but combining clicks and spark plug into a skin, it was definitely going to be the sweatiest one, and that's Sparks. I do really love the design to the skin, and it is definitely the sweatiest. But there you have it. That is my ranking for the sweatiest skin from every Fortnite season. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. And if you'd like to join my Discord server, be sure to check out the link in the description. And then last but not least, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.